curriculum picks for my preschooler. Well, she's technically considered a TKer, transitional kindergarten, since she's too young for kindergarten but too old for preschool. I wanted to pick something that was a lot more gentle and just easing into learning. She loves to learn and I want to just nurture that as much as possible. So when I saw this curriculum, The Magic of Childhood, I definitely wanted to grab it. It's a year-round homeschool study for preschoolers, but you can use this for the ages 3 to 5, and my daughter is 4. So this is not really technically like a curriculum, it's more like a guide. And I'll just read you real quick what the goal of this guide is, which I read it and that's why I wanted to grab it. The goal of this guide is to create a love for learning through developmentally appropriate practices focused on faith, play, nature, and connection as you reclaim the magic of childhood together. Just absolutely love that when I read that, because that's my whole goal, especially in the younger years, is to really focus on the love of learning, not so much like you have to know all these things by this certain time. I just want to let it come naturally and just develop that love for learning. I love that faith and nature are the center of this learning guide, and that's why I really was drawn to it. I think sometimes we can get really caught up in just focusing on the fundamental skills that we forget to make sure we're embracing the love of learning, especially in the early years. So these are all the themes that are in the book. It's basically based off of nature themes, season themes. So I'm going to start in this section right here, because you don't have to go in order. You could start where you want to. And there's tons of tips in here too, how she suggests to use this guide. She also included these really awesome journaling pages, which I love because I love to jot down my ideas and my thoughts. So this is just an example of the theme. So this would be the Arctic theme, and that would be the theme of the week, question of the day, and there's 5 questions for each day. There's a letter if you want to put a letter that you want to focus on and number. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to pretty much guide me in that, which I love that there's a Bible verse in here for us to memorize and encouragement as well. And then a weekly devotional and prayer. And on the next page is actually the weekly learning guide. So it's Monday, what we'll be doing. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then here is more of what we'll be doing as well. And then the book list, so I could get all those books from the library. And then your vocabulary words. It also comes with flashcards with the vocabulary words on here. They're really printed on thick paper too, which is nice. So I'll probably end up laminating these. And there's also, back here is, so there's all the vocabulary cards for all the themes. And there's also letter cards and number cards too. I bought this off Amazon for $40 as well, and it came with the cards and the book. And I'm going to keep this little box for memorabilia as well. So this guide is basically our focus. My daughter loves to learn and do school when my older kids are doing, so I feel like we're going to get through that pretty quickly, so that's not going to take up most of her time. So I am going to incorporate a morning menu still. I have different sheets that I'll be putting in here weekly. And she really loved the learning journal last year, so I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm just going to try to really focus on the themes of the month, like if it's a holiday or something, and try to do little learning activities for her in there. She really liked that. And I have this dart art for her. It's the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, so she loves those dot markers, so she keep occupied doing this while her brother and sister are still working. And I'm not really focused on handwriting, but if she wants to, there's this handwriting notebook that she could practice on handwriting. But then again, like, I have tons of like manipulatives and stuff to work on her handwriting skills, not so much like she has to have a pen and pencil to do that. So that's all the stuff we're going to be working on. I don't really want to do so much where it's like she's only 4 years old, so we have plenty of time for that. So I really want to I want to see her enjoy learning and not feel like she has to do all these kind of schoolwork and all these workbooks. She has an option to do these extra workbooks, but this is what we're going to be focusing on the most, because I really feel like this is going to be very helpful in creating that love of learning